Hey you guys, this is Julie, and if you are watching this video, it's because you have probably already received an email with my Designing Your Dream Life workbook that I created for you. This workbook is something I put together to help share the ideas that I've been learning in my own coaching journey. I'm going through Mary Morrissey's Life Solutions Dream Builder coaching program, and I've completed all of the modules, and I'm actually going to go in March to Los Angeles to be officially certified. And I started this journey in June of last year, and I have really, it is amazing how much I have grown and my confidence and the way I'm living my life because I'm using the things that I'm learning in this program and all of the reading I'm doing on my own now that I'm into this personal growth, law of attraction, the universe is abundant mindset. So I made this for you, and if you sign up for my email and you received the workbook, I just want to go over this workbook a little bit with you to kind of coach you along. And if you did want to do coaching with me officially after you do the workbook, I offer a free strategy session where we get either on the phone or we can do a video chat using Skype or iMessage or whatever, or just on the phone or a Zoom call where we can go over some things in how to start your life going forward. And then I also would offer a coaching package if you are interested in that. So to begin with, if you want to either print your workbook off, or if you just want to get a journal and you can read through all of the things I'm writing on your device, whether using the computer or your phone, and then just get a notebook, and where we have to talk about writing stuff down, just use a notebook instead of wasting paper and ink, because I see all these beautiful printables in the world and on these things that I'm downloading, but it's so much easier just to use a piece of paper and create your journal where you have everything in one place. So whatever feels comfortable for you. But on the first page here, let me talk a little bit about Barefoot Jewel. I am Barefoot Jewel. My name is Julie, and I have decided I want to live a barefoot kind of life. In 2011, I quit my state job in Iowa that I thought I would retire from up until that point. But for the past few years before that, I had become more and more frustrated at working in a cubicle. And even though I was making decent money, I was very unhappy. And as my son got older and graduated high school and no longer needed me to support him, I found myself basically counting down the years until I could retire, and I had over 20 years to retire, and it got to a point where I just could not do this anymore. So I started looking at different options to get out of there, but my first priority at the time was making money, because I had bills to pay, and I felt trapped because I had to make money to pay these bills so I could have a place to live and a car and everything, so I could go to work to make money. So it was this terrible vicious circle that we're all in. So I'll share my story in another video, but basically I made one action step. I decided I had to do one thing, and I ended up quitting my job with a semi-formed plan, and that has led me through a winding journey to where I'm actually living my dream life right now. I moved 1,400 miles away from Iowa to Florida, and I do what I love every single day, and I wake up every morning excited for my life versus being groaning as I'm waking up with the alarm clock, wondering how I'm going to survive another 8 hours in a cubicle all day. So I designed my dream life by accident, by default. I didn't know any of these, excuse the phone. I didn't know any of these concepts when I started this. I just by instinct knew something had to change. And so now here I am, having done all of that, and now knowing all of these concepts and how to share them with others. Anybody can do this. You just need to learn changing your thought process, changing the way you think about things in every day, and changing your actions and your attitude, and you too can start living your dream life. And that's why I developed this workbook. So when you read through the workbook, I've talked a little bit about myself, and then on the third page, there are basically 4 main areas in our lives that we can create results. depending on our thoughts and our actions. And those are love and relationships, our family, our friends, our community, how we relate to others in our daily life, our own physical and emotional wellness, our vocation and our work-life balance, and our spiritual connection to source energy, whether you want to call it God or spirit or the universe. It's all the same, and there's a lot of conflict about religious this and religious that, but it's all the same. There's some kind of source, higher energy, higher power, and that's what this talks about. So those 4 areas, every day when you do whatever you're doing, you are creating results in those areas of your life, whether you know it or not, based on your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, and how you choose to react to things that are happening in your life. So what you need to do if you want to change where you're at now, if you're not happy where you're at now and you want a change, even if you don't know what that change is, you need to start where you're at. So the page that says start with an honest assessment, you don't necessarily know where you're wanting to go, but you know you're not happy. When I was in my cubicle, I did not know, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to not have to work in a cubicle. That was basically the bottom line. I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew what I didn't want. And so I started, instead of feeling trapped and saying I'm stuck here until I can retire in 20 years, 20 plus years, I started to say, what can I do to get myself out of this cubicle and still keep my quality of life? And that's just how it started. So where it says here, love and relationships, physical and emotional wellness, vocation and work-life balance, and spirit and connection to source energy, there's 1 being unsatisfied, and then there's a line, and it goes over to 10, which is satisfied. So take some time, put your phone down, turn the computer off, turn the phone off, turn the TV off, whatever, and just sit there. If you can go outside in nature, that's a great place to go. Really try to start connecting with yourself. Take some time and really start thinking, how do you feel in each of these areas of your life? And then mark a little X by the line, wherever you want to, good, bad, how you're feeling for all 4 of those. And closest to 1 means you're very, very unhappy and something needs to change. And closer to 10 means you love that part of your life right now and everything's great. And somewhere in the middle, which is where most of us will be, closer to bad or closer to good, depending on your situation. So after you do that, then on the back of that sheet, you are going to take some time and consider your answers and why you put those answers down. Why are you unhappy in this part? Why are you okay with this part? And why are you wonderfully happy with this part? And be honest with yourself. No one is going to read this or listen to this or see this unless you let them. This is about you, and being honest with yourself, really truly honest, is the first step to creating lasting change, because you have to be honest with yourself and say, you know what, I'm not happy in this situation. Even though it's scary, by saying I'm not happy and admitting it, you're telling the universe you want it to change, and that's going to give you the beginning steps to go forward. So just write down as much as you can. In the area of love and relationships, for example, I am, and what I would say is I am satisfied, because I have been with my partner for, it's going to be our 15th year together, and he makes me laugh every day, and I'm very happy with him. I have some really good friends that I connect with, and we have a lot in common, and I'm very close with my family. So in the area of love and relationships, I'm very happy. Physical and emotional wellness, for example, I do need to lose weight. I'm a little unhappy with my physical health. So I would like to be thinner. I would like to lose weight. I would like to be able to eat healthier. And you're just going to write what you are unhappy with or happy with and why for each of those areas. And then once you've finished that, the next page is going to talk about what we think affects how we feel. So you need to be, what you're talking about over here as to why you're unhappy if you are. You need to talk about why you are unhappy and what would create more satisfaction in those areas. So in my area where I talk about physical and emotional wellness, where I feel like I'm overweight and I'm not quite as healthy as I want to be, it would make me happy in my physical wellness if I lost 50 pounds, if I woke up every day and decided to go jogging or walking or do yoga, if I craved salad instead of popcorn with butter. Just put anything down that you can think of that would make you happier. and don't limit this, don't edit this, just write down what would make me happier. Even if, I'd rather be 5'10" instead of 5'1", just write anything down that comes to mind, because this is how you're going to start creating ideas and creating thoughts as to how you can make things the way you want them versus how they are right now. And so that area is going to be for the areas that you're not happy with. You're going to write down what would make me more happy in those areas. Now on the back of that sheet, if there are any things in your life, any areas of your life that you are happy with, what would make that? Why are you happy with them, and what would make it even better? So in my area of love and relationships, I'm happy with my partner, I'm happy with my family, I'm happy with my friends because, and then you're going to write down why you're happy in the situation, and then you're going to say, if you could even bring it up a level, it would be even better if, and like my relationship with John, my partner, would be even better if we had more money so we could travel whenever we wanted to. My relationship with my son would be better if I could see him more often, because he lives in Iowa and I live in Florida, and we keep in touch on the computer and on the phone, but I would love to just have a hug. So even though my relationship is great with him, it could be even better if. So that's what you're going to do on this sheet. You're going to say, I'm happy here because, and then it would be even better if. And this is where you're going to start expanding on things and really get to the meat of what would really make you happy. Now, after you've finished with that part of it, you're going to have a little bit better idea of where you are, why you're there, where you want to be, and what would make you happier to get there. So if you have determined that there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, that's good news, because it means that you have work to do. You're not stuck where you are. You do have work to do, and you can change your unhappy level up to happy. So there's good news, because there is a proven, reliable system you can learn that will help you design the life of your dreams by changing your thoughts and actions. And that's what we're going to talk about in the rest of this. And then if you worked with me in person or on the phone, or start reading about all this, there's ways you can change this. So we can't always get what we want when we don't really know what it is we want. So great results can only happen with clear thinking and a deep understanding of what you truly desire. So we're talking here about how when we're babies and we're learning how to walk, we want to walk so badly that even if we fall down, we get back up again, and we fall down and we get back up again, and we learn how to walk. We're not afraid of falling down because we want so badly to walk. But as we grow and our parents love us and society wants to keep us safe, so we're taught to be careful and don't, if we want something, but wait, be careful. So we forget to just go after what we want, because we start thinking, is this safe? Is this comfortable? Is this going to put me in danger? And if the answer is yes, it's going to be put me in danger and it's not safe, we learn to say, okay, maybe I don't need to do that. And that is, that's good to keep us safe, but it's bad because we don't go after our dreams when we learn to live like that. And our world right now is very messed up because most people are living from that place of fear instead of saying, I wonder what would happen if, and going forward. So we need one at a time to start learning how to say, you know what, that's scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. So you have to change your language. You need to learn a new language and a new way of thinking. So when you have an idea of something, a lot of times I have an idea and my old self would be like, oh, I'll do that someday. Or no, that sounds like a lot of work. It'd be fun, and I won't do it. But my new way of thinking, if I have an idea, I immediately go write that down. If I'm somewhere where I can't write it down, like if I'm driving, I get my phone and I talk into my phone. Hey, write down, or remember to write down the 12 steps to better understanding of health. And I capture every idea I have, because those ideas are what are trying to tell us what we need to do to go forward to better our situation. The universe is speaking to us every day, and its first currency is ideas. So our ideas can change the world if we go forward and let them, and expand upon them and keep them. So anytime you have an idea, even if it seems silly or like something you would never be able to do, write that idea down, because it's trying to speak with you that this is where you need to go. So, to begin to design your dream, you must learn to think as if everything and anything is possible. Because what you do, you have an idea. If you say, oh, well, let me think about this idea, you will figure out a way to make it happen. What the mind can conceive, it can achieve. So that's what we're going to start working on. There's more talking about that in this worksheet. And the 4 main areas in our lives, again, where we create results are love and relationships, physical and emotional wellness, vocational and work-life balance, and spirit and connection to source energy. So after you read through a little bit more about what I've just talked about changing our thoughts, the next thing that's going to happen is that you are going to read through about how you can start writing down what you want without limitations. So you're going to grab your favorite pen, you're going to read through the rest of this, and what you're going to do is we're going to pretend, you're going to take some time and you're going to think about what would your perfect life be like in all 4 of those main areas. What would the perfect life be like in your love and relationships area? What would the perfect life be like in your work, vocation, balance? What would the perfect life be like with your physical and mental health? And what would your perfect life be like with your spiritual and your connection to a source? And you're going to think about that, and you're going to get a pen, and you can print these out, or you can get your favorite notebook, go somewhere quiet, and just think and allow yourself to just say, okay, I can have anything I want in these areas. What do I want? What do I want? And you're just going to start writing down whatever comes to mind. You know, I want to go to Nepal and live with the monks or the Buddhist monks, whatever comes to mind, write it down. Write it down. It's yourself thinking. Some of these ideas you might say, well, that's weird. I never thought I would want to do that. Well, write it down. It's something trying to tell you. I was at a thing earlier this year, and a lady, some girls and I were doing a vision board. And we go through and we pick out pictures that we want to do. She picked out a picture of somebody surfing. And she's like, I'm not really sure why I did that. I've never surfed, and I never knew I wanted to surf. But the picture talked to her. So she cut it out and she stuck it on her vision board. Maybe someday she'll go forward and learn to surf. Who knows? But this is the thought that matters. You have to write it down. So start writing down whatever happens. And you're going to do it as if this is 3 years in the future from today. And I, or a best friend, hasn't seen you for that long, and they're seeing you now, they're going to say, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you for so long. Can you tell me how things are going in your area of love and relationships, work-life balance? And you're going to write down, you know what? You will not believe this. Things are going so fabulously. You're going to write in the first person, in the present. My cat wants me. You're going to write in the present tense as if this is happening now. You know, for the past 3 years, I have really been working on my health, and I'm now, you know, my best weight ever. I run 10 miles every day. I do yoga. Whatever your ideal situation is, you're going to write and think as if it is happening now, and you're talking about it. So when you do that, there's the 4 areas you're going to do it in. Physical and emotional health, your love and relationship, your spiritual life, and your work-life balance. And then once you finish that, you are going to read through there, and after you read through all there, you're going to picture this dream and this life, this perfect life. And if it excites you, and if it makes you want that so badly, that's good. If it aligns with your core values and your beliefs, your belief systems and everything, that's good. If it's a little bit scary and out of your comfort zone, and you're not sure how it would happen, and it might require you to grow, that's good. And if it requires help from a higher power and a spirit and a belief that, you know what, I'm not sure how this is going to happen, but I wrote it down, so let's just think about it and see what happens. That is good. And finally, the last thing to test your dream to see if it is worthy, is this dream that I have of my perfect life something that will benefit others, not just myself, but will benefit others somehow. And you know, even if you're going to get healthier, that sounds like it's personal, but by you being healthier, you're going to be able to be there more for your loved ones. You're going to be more physical and mental and emotionally able to support them and to help them and be around them. So yes, that does have good in others. So you just have to test it in that way. And if you answer yes to all of those questions, you need to start visualizing that life that you wrote down as if it's happening now, and you need to start thinking every single day about that vision you have and figure out what you can do every single day, one action step to get closer to that actually happening. So, it does no good to dream big, but then turn our attention to our common day problems. So once you've written down this beautiful dream and you've decided it's got life and it has all of the dream passing tests, don't forget about it. Throw it under your pile of stuff to do and start going back to your miserable, oh my God, I hate my life. I hate having to work here. I'm so fat. I'm going to go eat some chips. Don't go back there. You have moved above that. And what you need to do is every day you need to think in terms of getting to that point, changing where you're at now and getting to that point. Because where focus goes, energy flows and results follow. So every day you're going to think about your dream and you're going to be positive about it and you're going to wonder and figure out how to take action every day towards that. So on the back page of that, there are 4 vision boxes for each of the 4 areas. And what I want you to do is look back to what you wrote in your perfect life on each of them, and then do little bullet points. Again, you can do this on this sheet or a piece of paper. Do little bullet points for the specific things. Just key like lost 50 pounds lighter. Do it all in positive thinking, positive wording. 50 pounds lighter, run 10 miles a day, do yoga every day. Just however, your love and relationships, dating the man of my dreams, you know, do things in society and the community every day, you know, whatever you think of that's been written down, put bullet points, because then what you're going to do in the bullet points, you're going to take this and you're going to put it somewhere where you see it every day, on your bathroom mirror, put it on your phone, screensaver, whatever. So you look at that every day to remind you of what you want and your dream, and it keeps it alive inside you. And then you're going to do one thing every day to move you towards the direction of your dream. So on the last page, after you do the vision, the little 4 board things, you're going to go on here, and I have done this. You can do this on this or a sheet of paper on your own, but you're going to take action step. You're going to write down action steps I can take towards my dream. And it's a brainstorming session. And you're going to write down every single thing you can think of that you can do, whether at this moment or start doing consistently towards that happening. Like if you said you want to, if you say you want to, you know, be a motorcycle rider and ride a motorcycle across the country, what's something you can do to make that start happening? If you don't have a motorcycle license, you can find out if they give lessons somewhere. You know, how to get motorcycle riding lessons, and what do I need to do to get a motorcycle license? What kind of motorcycle would I want? You need to start just whatever you can think of that you would need to do to be able to make that happen. You're going to write down every single step. Like if I say I want to lose 50 pounds, you know, one of my things is I'm 50 pounds lighter. What can I do to make that happen? Well, I can come up with an eating plan that doesn't include junk food all the time. I can start walking half an hour every day. I can drink more water. There's things we can do towards our dreams, so we just need to do them. But by writing it down, it creates another level of connection with the idea that you can have. So instead of just thinking it, you're writing it down. You're making it more concrete, and your brain looks at it in a different way and makes it more real. And also if you speak it out loud to somebody or to yourself, look in the mirror and tell yourself every day, here's my dream life, and read it to yourself in the mirror, or read it to a friend if you want to share. But you get it out there and give it life in different connections in different ways. So after you do your action steps, you have created the strong foundation for the manifestation of your dreams. And that's the last page here. It talks about, don't be surprised if you start noticing strange coincidences beginning to happen. And you'll be like, what? How did this happen? But it's the universe, or it's source, or it's God saying, okay, I hear you. You want this to happen. Here, let me help you. And things are going to start happening. And maybe you're going to take a little bit different of a path than you thought you would, but be open-minded to how this works. And you will go so far. It's amazing. I could tell you so many stories since I started this journey of how things have opened up for me that I never would have considered when I was first starting to figure out what I wanted to do. It's amazing. And I will be doing further videos on that. But you are at the end of the workbook right now. On the very last page, I have all of my connection. You can email me. There's my website, my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and I'm just beginning a YouTube video or a YouTube channel, so there's not really a whole lot there yet. But feel free to reach out to me with the email, or some of you have my cell phone on Facebook Messenger, friend me on Facebook, whatever. I'd love to hear how things are going and be in touch with you about helping you create your dream. And if you do want to do a free consultation, which is a dream clarity session with me, where we go over how you can start doing this, and you just get another level of support versus just the workbook. We're going to talk about it, and you're going to tell me, and I'm going to say, oh my God, that's a good idea, and help you figure out ways to do things. So that's a way we can connect also. And I'm in the process right now of creating an automated online coaching in a box package, which is going to be all of the coaching I'm going to do in person once I get my certification, but it's going to be at a much less expensive price range for people that can't afford a lot of money for a coach, because I can't do that, but I want to help everybody that wants to change. So I'm going to create a coaching in a box program that's going to be less expensive for people to actually get started with an actual coach. And I'm going to be doing videos and workbooks and worksheets and audios and all these things I'll do in person, but it's all going to be in a little packaged box that you can get for a much less expensive price. So that's it. Please take some time to work on this, because we all deserve to live a life of our dreams. And I want everybody to be able to wake up in the morning and love their life and enjoy what they do instead of feeling trapped and like they don't know where to go. So enjoy, fill this out. I hope to hear from you, and have a fabulous day. And please start living the life of your dreams and taking action steps towards that today and every single day forward. Bye-bye.